Hi, Ross. Could you tell us a little bit about Bravand?
Yeah, sure. My name's Ross Musgrove. I am Insight and Strategy Director at Bravand, and Bravand is a digital agency. So, essentially, we design and build digital things that need to work on screens, whether that's a website, an app, some kind of product or service that people will interact with either on a screen or one of these. Um, and then there's a whole lot of stuff that wraps around that in terms of getting people to that destination. So, social media, PR, digital marketing, that sort of thing. So, yeah, I suppose, what once might have been referred to as a sort of a one-stop shop, so a full-service agency. But I think one of the key things that sets us apart, or has done at least historically, maybe less so now, is that we're actually primarily a collective of freelancers. So we work with around about 40 individuals, all with their own specialism. We've got 4 employees. I'm one of those 4. And what we essentially do is we meet someone who's got a problem, a business and organization that's got a problem. We look at what that problem is. We look at the people that we know in our network that work with us on projects that can help to solve that problem. We assemble the project team to solve that problem, and then move on to the next project.
How did you start working with Bravand?
So I actually am now married to the founder of Bravand. So Gilly, the founder of Bravand, was we were together. We were in a relationship just over 9 years ago. Gilly was made redundant at short notice, started Bravand. I've been made redundant that same year and started freelancing. And over a period of time, actually started freelancing for Bravand. So doing research, market research, user testing, that sort of thing. The stuff that I head up now for Bravand. And over a period of time working with them, they just became our most interesting client. So, a couple of years back, Julie and I sat down and said it seems a little bit silly for us both to be running these kind of separate entities, particularly when more and more of my business was coming from Bravand anyway. So yeah, I closed my business down and became Insight and Strategy Director at Bravand.
How did you become a network of freelancers?
So it happened organically, actually. So we didn't kind of wake up, or Julie didn't wake up one morning and say, I'm going to put together a collective of freelancers. She was made redundant at short notice, had been working in the digital industry for a period of time, and had seen how people can often get things wrong, how people are often treated badly. And so said, well, we might as well have a go at this ourselves. If it works out, great. And if it doesn't, then we'll go and find a job. And her and her creative director at the time founded Bravand with a kind of a founding ethos of treat people the way you'd hope to be treated, treat them fairly, find them interesting work to do, pay them what they're worth. Don't be a dick. That was kind of one of our brand values for it. Still is, really. It's just not up on the wall. And at that point, I think the perception was, let's treat our employees like people. But what actually ended up happening was they won their first piece of business very quickly, and they didn't have a fully employed permanent team to deliver against that project. But they knew a lot of people that had the relevant skills that could get the project live for the client. And so they recruited a couple of freelancers to help them deliver this project. And then very quickly, another piece of work came in. And so they just kind of carried on going the way they had been doing, because they were very focused on winning business and delivering business, trying to start up an organization. They'd got this pool of talent all around them. There was never really the need to go out and find employees. And it just kind of then happened that we've got multiple projects that we're running with lots of different people working on them. It just so happened that none of them were actually employed by Bravand, and the network just kind of became official, I guess, as part of the sort of natural evolution of the business itself.